If there's one video you watch for the next year, if it's this one, it could change your life. I'm going to talk about Edgar Cayce, Dolores Cannon, what they said about what's happening in this new earth split, this new great awakening. But what I want to tell you about is a secret about their teachings. I'm going to tell you what each of them meant by Christ consciousness and the new earth split, why it is actually happening now. It's go time. We're already in it. And what it truly means that is sort of a secret. It's very shocking when you find out what it truly means and what you must do if you want to participate in this amazing shift, this great awakening, this new earth. Are you ready for this? It may shock you. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube. I'm here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Fear is an illusion. The veils that we live in, the fear, the ego, the greed, all of the things we can name that humans do that are destructive, that's all a veil, and they are falling. They're crumbling, but there are many who will walk behind the veils and continue to allow their egos to control the planet. It doesn't have to be you, and what they do is not to be judged. I hope that you'll subscribe because in this video today, I'm going to share with you the actual meaning of this new earth split and the Christ consciousness that Edgar Cayce predicted. But what does it really mean? I'm going to dig deep. And by the way, there's no AI script here. There's nothing I've been told to say in this video. It's coming straight from me because I got a download today and this message is for you. So please subscribe and share these videos. I think this message has to be heard. So let's get started. Edgar Cayce, thousands of readings, healing people, predicting future events, but never really could predict the exact time when they happened. He predicted that much of the planet would be underwater and breaking up. There could be all kinds of earth transformations. Of course, we expect that. Things happen to us when we get older. We are directly connected to this planet and absolutely everything, not just to each other, but in this universe. I'm going to talk about that now because what I'm going to tell you about the actual secret about going into the new earth and what is absolutely required is going to make total sense. And you may already know this secret. You may already realize that, wow, it is actually pretty shocking because it's on a level much higher than what we usually talk about. So what do we usually talk about? Dolores Cannon spoke of a time when there would be a great awakening amongst the people, and it doesn't take a big percentage for us to shift into a new earth. It's not a physical split. It is a frequency. What we're realizing now is we are frequencies, everything is, and that the facade you see of absolutely everything is just temporary. And it shifts and transforms. You are energy. It cannot be created nor destroyed, which means you always were. So what does that mean for you right now? 2026 is absolutely the turning point. In fact, right now, it's the day after Christmas 2025, and I felt a very strong power coming in yesterday of one of peace and expansion. What does that mean for you? When we talk about Edgar Cayce and he talks about going into the Akashic records and reading this other realm that sees the future, but telling us that the future changes, that we can pull another thread out, choose a different one, and the passage and the results will be different. He taught that, and he spoke of what is called the Christ consciousness, a time when all of the things that go on in the world would be destruction in a positive way. What do I mean by a positive way? Well, if you have a building that's built on sand and you know it's eventually going to collapse, you don't live in it. You get out of there and you knock it down. This is what's happening right now. And this is how we know that these predictions that haven't come in the exact time that he said actually are finally happening. The pole shifts, the cataclysms on Earth that he predicted, absolutely aligning. Same thing with Dolores Cannon. She predicted a split, and that means that we will have extremes. Because when people are under the veils, they're ignorant, they're in ego, they're self-serving, they will cling to that tighter as we go into this new transition, this beautiful transformation, the Great Awakening. They're going to hang tighter because they feel that they're losing grip on that world. And they are. But what they don't realize is what the trade-off is, and that it's so beautiful, but they can't imagine that because all they know or think exists is a material world, and they derive their happiness from it. Yet, as we know, it actually doesn't produce happiness at all. It's a never-ending cesspool, a greedy one that is never filled. It's never filled. So we're seeing this happen, and many of you may have been in that position. We've all been in that position where we looked at the material world as the be-all, end-all, and we spent our whole lives trying to get to that happy relationship or job or the money, only to find out when we get there, it's not satisfying like we thought it would be. And then there's always more. And there's always a price to be paid for that. It's not just what you get, it's how did you get it? How are you earning your money? How are you treating people in relationships? What are you doing right now for a living that could be destroying the planet? What are you doing with your purchases? Is it self-serving or is there thought behind it? Because now we're going to go into what I'm going to share with you. There are some steps that must be taken, and I give those to you in most of my videos. I'm going to recap them now, but then I'm going to take you into the next level of true, absolute great awakening that is required. There's no getting around what I'm going to tell you today. What do we need to do? Why do we say meditation is important? Because when we go into meditation, we go into the realm beyond the body. And so we start to shut down the thinking. I know a lot of you find it very difficult. It is required, and I'm going to tell you why. And it could be any form of meditation. It could be just going for a long walk in silence. I tell myself one thing when I go out there, so I have a lot of business that I have to take care of. So I want to shut that down. And I say one word in my head, and you can do this too. It really helps. I don't say silence. I say, listen. And so all of a sudden, you're tuned into the birds, the waves, the clouds, the wind, and you listen. And now you're focused outward. When you go on your walks or when you meditate, the whole purpose of it is to connect to the outward world. And we don't talk too much about that. Why is meditation so good? It actually expands you, that energy field that is connected to all of this. You are not separate. It now starts to commune with, entangle with, and communicate with all of that that is still you. Now, you may not wrap your head around this. How can it be me? It's tough. We're humans. We see a physical body and we can't imagine that we are that. But when you go into this state of meditation, nature walking, real meditation, a few minutes in the morning, the more you do it, the more you will understand what I'm talking about. And that is this force that connects to everything. You know it when somebody walks in a room. They can be smiling and you feel a sadness. You may be picking up on things now in the world right now. Powerful feelings. I've felt them. Yesterday was a very powerful, positive one. And I knew that we are in the tipping point. It's go time. What does that mean? Now it's not about practicing once in a while or trying to incorporate it into your life. This must be how you live in every area of your life. And when I share this secret with you, it's going to make perfect sense. It's going to seem like something really extreme, but it is required. You cannot listen to classical music if you're tuned into rock and roll. It's that simple. You can't get to the penthouse and drink champagne and have a beautiful view if you're still dialing in on that elevator to the bottom floor where it's dirty and dark and people are scrambling to survive and get out. This is exactly how it works. Does it seem frightening? It's not. People choose to be down there so they can experience it. Darkness is part of the oneness. And I got a very big download yesterday. I got this connection to darkness that was so beautiful that we were actually still one and that it serves a great purpose. Because without darkness, we don't know light. We can't know anything until we've seen or experienced the contrast to it. And this is what we're doing. But now we're at a critical turning point, and that is our free will choices that have given to these unconscious beings here to experience the adventure of sadness and anger and all the things, the greed, all the things that we do here. We know it now, and we know it doesn't work, and we see the damage that it has done. The damage it has done. So I want you to look around and ask yourself if any of these things are working. Is the power struggle, is the arguments again, political struggles and arguing and destroying one another for what? We are one, and when you destroy something, you destroy yourself. So I saw a video of somebody who had communicated with extraterrestrial beings. I know some of you have, and I have a very big announcement for you at the end of this video also that you're going to love. And the extraterrestrial said, I feel sorry for you humans. You don't know what you are or what you're capable of. And a question was asked. So why aren't you coming down here and making yourself known if you have these capabilities and you live in love and you hear these many stories about how they connect to the love? The answer was, do you communicate with ants? No, I'm aware of them. And they said, well, and that's how we look at you. If you're not communicating with us, if we are not looking at each other as equally beautiful, these ants are a problem. We step on them. And we do that for the rest of the world. If we don't respect our own planet and other beings on it, we're not going to respect them. We have to come up to their level. And this video could get you there. Because once we go to that level, because we've got a lot of neighbors that are way beyond us, we may have been them before. We can be them in the future or the past. It all blurs together. But right now, you are who you are. And you have a big mission. So when you realize that everything's precious and you go on that walk, I want you to push that energy field out. Ask yourself to listen. And I want you to look at those trees and feel the energy coming off of them. Because this is science now. I'm not talking about woo-woo. I'm talking to trees. Some people do. And I have before experienced some amazing things, but it was all energy based. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Energy based means I am that. I am. Now, Dolores Cannon spoke of this earth that was going to split, and those who decided to stay in the darkness. Again, nothing to be feared. They have their own reasons, their own journey, their own experiences that they signed up for, and we cannot know what those are. So when you think you need to cure everybody or they all have to awaken, am I here to do it? Then you don't understand what true awakening is. And I want you to step back and say, the only one that I made an agreement with was this. And this affects everything else. You can't help but be connected to it. So whatever you do affects everybody else. You're already helping change people, but not by judgment or telling them what they should do or you want them to be saved, because you're thinking of them as not being eternal, as having an ending. It's just one experience having an ending. They're eternal. You don't have to worry about them. If they decide to go to hell in a handbasket this time, they're eternal. They're going to go somewhere else and live out and go to different teachings and experience things. I want you to go into this space of letting go and allowing. That is going to be one of the biggest things you could do. Understanding that the things that we try to make happen are the things that are collapsing and crumbling now because we think it's best for everyone. And it doesn't work that way. The individual and the diversity of who and what we are is what's so beautiful. I asked one of my friends, one of my students, he's a fabulously spiritual Black guy out of New Mexico. I said, did you ever think, like, if we came from one thing, how come we're all so different? How come we look different? We have different skin colors, different cultures, and we were all over the planet. We're going to learn coming up, and I believe it's going to be in 2026, our origins. And it's not going to be what you think. And we're going to realize it's so much bigger and beautiful and greater. And then we're going to realize, wait a second, we're way more powerful than we thought. And we're going to shed the veils and the false teachings and the programming that told us we weren't that. And that we were this, and this is how the rules are. That was all control mechanisms and fear-based. So when Dolores said that Earth is going to split, there will be those that continue to live that way and will be totally unaware of you or I. But it doesn't mean they're lost. They can still make a choice, even up to the moment they take their last breath. So we have to let that go and know that whatever you're doing here is going to affect them. When you shine the light, you shine the way for others. Edgar Cayce talked about the Christ consciousness. Let's address that. And I'm going to get into the actual secret that could be very shocking for you, and it's necessary. I saw a version of Scrooge yesterday that was fabulous, and the storyline was completely different. And it was more realistic. It wasn't this fantastical story. It was a story of a man who had his own pain and abuses and let the world get to him and saw the world in a dark place. And of course, we know the three ghosts visited him. And at the end, Marley, his ex-partner, wanted him to change because if he could help Scrooge change, he would get redemption in this afterlife that he was living in hell, basically. And at the end of the movie, they're in the graveyard and he sees his stone and he sees Tiny Tim's stone, who had had an accident. And he finally felt and saw the damage that he had done his whole life, thinking that making more money or getting things, even if it was just for his family or whatever, that was the right thing to do. And then it all became very clear. And here is the crux of what I'm going to share with you. This is the Christ consciousness. When the three ghosts were watching him, and Bob Marley shows up and says, "Will you now ask for redemption? You can get it now. Ask for redemption." And Scrooge said, "No, it doesn't take back all the horrible things I did. I know what I did now, and I've learned, but it won't remove the damage. I can be a better person going forward. But I don't need redemption because I deserve all the things I'm going to get after this life from all the things that I did." He said, "But there is one thing that I do want. How can we save Tiny Tim? How can we make it so that he doesn't have to die?" And all the ghosts smiled and disappeared. This, my friend, is the secret. This is the Christ consciousness. What was Christ doing? Christ sacrificed himself for others. Christ was willing to give up himself for others. What did Scrooge do in the movie? I know they were taking it from this lesson. Ultimate redemption isn't being forgiven for the things you've done. It is to place others first before yourself in every circumstances. And in his case, he was willing to die and to go to hell just to get Tiny Tim back. This is the secret that goes beyond forgiveness. It has to be ultimate oneness. It has to be service to others first. And by the way, that doesn't mean you are not going to have an abundant, beautiful life. In fact, it will be more abundant, healthier, happier for you. Why? Because you opened up the gateways that eliminate the greed or the protection or the fear or the arguments or the ego. It's gone. And what's on that other side? Unlimited gifts, unlimited abundance, unlimited health, because you're already perfect. And the veils come down, and what's revealed is what you truly are. And that new earth you go into, you will accept that you made a choice and that by doing that, you affected the entire universe. That's your gift to everyone. And that as you go through the rest of your life, you will think about everything you purchase. Was anybody harmed? Was an animal harmed? Was anything tested on? Ladies, what makeup are you wearing? What little bunny suffered for that? It's not going to be a perfect world right now. We have to work on it. But that's why you're here. The ultimate secret, the Christ consciousness, the new earth is absolutely 100% service to others. And if you do nothing else, that will take you to the penthouse and beyond. And you'll realize that's the true satisfaction. It's not a new car or a relationship or a house. You're going to receive something so beyond that, a feeling that is so great and beautiful. And you're going to realize there's no anxiety in there. There's no depression. And that life will continue to throw challenges at us. We're still in a dense planet with people that will continue to choose density. You will go into not just redemption, but regeneration, revival, the new earth, the oneness of which you never lost touch with. We are beggars in tattered clothes, and our pockets are filled with gems. All we have to do is reach in. I want you to know something, and that is this is an equal playing field. We're all different. We're all meant to help one another on different levels. We all are experiencing things out there. Some have been here before, hundreds of lifetimes. Others are new to the earth. Others are coming here in different forms. I want you to go into a space, if you want to participate in the new earth, that is unlimited. Christ demonstrated that. Walk on water, turn water into wine, feed hundreds of people. How many times do we have to see this? Coming back from the dead and showing, proving there is no death. So what is there to fear? Once you let that go, you will go into a space in 2026 that will blow your mind because it's go time. It's not on January 1st. It's right now. We went into December 21st, a new rebirth, a new opening, another gateway. Did you participate in that? Doesn't matter if you didn't. There are always openings and new opportunities in every moment. Are you ready to serve others? I'm talking about everything. Everything must come before you. That is the Christ consciousness. And that doesn't mean sacrifice. In fact, it's the opposite. When you do this, you will find your life change in such amazing ways because you're not grabbing and trying to get and hold back. You're giving. And when you go into that space, there is unlimited resources. And that is the one who has no limits, no endings, and is unlimited, unconditional love. And you'll feel that. You'll experience it. And I want to share something with you that I'm going to launch here in just a few days. I'm going to open up my YouTube membership. I'm going to have a special membership where you can come in and we'll talk live. We'll have chats. I want to interview some of you. Some of you have told me you've had experiences with extraterrestrials or other beings. I have a student who she can call in orbs. They're amazing. I can't debunk any of this stuff. We're going to explore that world, and it's going to be private because those who don't believe, they can stay in a limited world, not to be judged. It will just be their choice. And those of you who are ready for this know that Source has no limits. That means you don't. You're a co-creator. That is you. I am that. I am. Total oneness. Yes? Are you ready to do that? And I don't want you to think of it as a human giving, like, oh, I have to give all my stuff away and say, no, I'm talking about every opportunity you have. I want you to think about the planet first, the animals. How are they treated to come to your table? Do I have to purchase that plastic bottle of whatever's in it? Is there an option? And I'm going to tell you, yes, there are. If you go into my description, my Amazon store, I'm restructuring my Amazon store, and I'm going to give you every opportunity to purchase things that support business owners who care about the planet and our health, because we're going to go into a more healthy way of living. You will not see the illnesses you normally do. People are going to heal themselves. This is all possible. And that's because we're going to serve one another. This is a secret because it goes beyond redemption or forgiveness. When you go up here, there's nothing to forgive. Everybody's doing exactly what they should when they should do it. And if they make a choice that is harmful, it will come back on them. It's a lesson for them. They can't make a mistake, and neither can you. It's all learning, and your reaction to that is what counts. That goes beyond forgiveness. That means you were my best teacher. You gave me the opportunity to be amazing because you are amazing. Are you ready to go into that? So I'm going to announce the membership. You might want to check and see. It's going to just be a few bucks a month, hardly anything. You get emojis and badges on your computer. And those of you who want to be interviewed, I'm going to have a few podcasts in there. You're going to see my videos before anybody else. I'll release them. I want to reward you. I want you to dig deep into this, and I want us to become a community, and this membership site will allow us to do that. So we can clean up the house and we can meditate and do all these things, but when you place everything first, those things will automatically happen. You'll automatically eat healthier and make sure you're decluttered because it won't feel good. You're going to connect to that. And it's going to be amazing, my friend, and you're going to experience miracles. For those of you who have not read my book, I suggest that you go in. Yes, it's on Amazon. That's the only way I can reach massive audiences. Go into Amazon, and if there's any book you're going to read about spirituality, that was a download of how everything works and that we are actually in the tipping point right now. There's no going back, but it's never too late. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Let's go into the Christ consciousness, the new earth. Make Dolores and Edgar Cayce proud. Sending my love to you. Blessings. Get ready for an amazing new year. Namaste.